In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a screencast using Chrome on a MacBook Pro Retina screen using Screenflow. So here I am in Chrome, and what I want to do is record a 1080p video. And what you typically want to do is record your video at a resolution that's as close as possible to the output resolution. So in my case, that output resolution is the spec for 1080p, which is 1920 by 1080. And that gives you an aspect ratio of 1.777. So the aspect ratio is kind of the relative dimensions of the screen, and you can calculate that very easily by dividing 1920 by 1080. So that gives you 1.777. And you'll see the relevance of that in a minute. In Chrome, I've got a browser plugin called Window Resizer. And this is a really useful plugin because if I drag the edge of my browser screen, you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, it's telling me what size the window is, as well as what size the viewport is. Now this is really useful for doing these kinds of screencasts. So what I'm going to do is, the first thing I want to do is to actually turn off, should really turn off notifications before I do the video. What I'm going to do is turn off my bookmarks bar, and that just gives me a bit more screen real estate for the final screencast. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to resize the browser window. Now I can see that the maximum viewport size I've got is 747. And if we go back to the 1080p spec, if we take 747, we're going to need to multiply that by 1.777 to get the correct aspect ratio for 1080p. So if we do 747 times 1.777, we get 1327. So 1327 by 747 is the closest I can get on this MacBook Pro Retina screen to the correct resolution. Sorry if you're hearing some background music, I'm doing this in a public space. Okay, so I'm going to drag my browser. 1327 by 747 is what I want. 1327, it's a bit fiddly. 1327 by 747, there it is. Okay, so that's the correct viewport size. And then what I'm going to do is record my screencast and then stop it and then do some editing in Screenflow. So I'll show you that next. Okay, so here I am in Screenflow, and you can see that I can see the entire desktop, which is not really what I want. What I want is just the viewport from within the browser. And actually, what I'm going to have to do is let me go to the part of the video where the viewport is at the correct size. So the first thing I'm going to do is go up to the document settings and change that to 1080p. So you can see it's automatically changed to 1920 by 1080. Update that, and now you can see that the video, the screencast that I did, is much bigger than that resolution. The reason for that is because I recorded it on a MacBook Pro Retina screen. So what we're going to need to do is scale this video down. So if I go, you can basically drag this setting over here until you get it to the right scale. I've done a bit of testing before, and I'm pretty sure that what I need is to scale it to 73%. So let's just enter that. This might not work because I might not have got it absolutely perfect, but if we let's go get a bit closer. So if we take that So that's looking roughly right. Let me just get a bit closer. Okay, so let me just do a little bit of adjustments here. This is a little bit fiddly. I'm not sure if there's a better way to do this, but you kind of get the picture. So that's looking pretty good. If I wasn't doing a screencast, I would zoom in and really get that absolutely perfect, but that's looking pretty good. So I'm going to go back to zoom to fit. So now I've got everything set up as close as I could possibly get to the final output resolution. And now it's just a case of clicking File and then Export. And you can choose a good preset if you want to, like Web High. But the important thing here is to change the dimensions to 100%, which will give us the 1920 by 1080, which is the 1080p resolution. And then just hit Export, and you should then have a pretty good quality screencast.